When you picture a Viking, what comes to mind? It's probably a fierce warrior, maybe with a horned helmet leaping from a dragon-headed ship, axe in hand. But what if the most revealing thing about the Vikings wasn't the edge of the axe, but the swirling patterns carved into its handle? Welcome to 10-Minute History. I'm your host, Jake Sullivan, and today we're looking past the stereotype of the brutish raider to uncover the soul of the Norse people, hidden in plain sight within their breathtaking art. For the Vikings, art was not just decoration. It was a language, a way to make sense of the cosmos, a currency of power, and a direct line to the gods. It was carved, hammered, and woven into every part of their lives, from the great ships that conquered the seas to the small brooch that held a woman's cloak. This artistic journey unfolds across 3 centuries and is traditionally broken down into 6 distinct styles, each named after a key archaeological find. It all begins around the year 750 CE with a style that is pure, chaotic energy, the Oseberg style. Imagine a tangled, writhing mass of creatures. The star of this style is the gripping beast, a squat cat-like animal whose defining feature is that it grips everything in sight, its own body, the creature next to it, the border of the design itself. The result is a feeling of incredible tension, a visual puzzle of interwoven limbs and bodies that fills every inch of space. The greatest example comes from the Oseberg ship, a vessel buried around 834 CE in Norway, which contained an unbelievable treasure trove of carved wooden objects, all covered in these gripping beasts. It is the foundational art of the Viking Age, powerful, complex, and teeming with supernatural force. But all that chaos would soon be brought into order. Around 840, the Bore style emerged, and it became the most widespread and quintessentially Viking style of all, found from Russia to England. The Bore style takes the wild energy of Oseberg and makes it more geometric and disciplined. Its key feature is the ring chain, a pattern of interlacing circles that creates a strong, rhythmic structure. The gripping beast is still here, but it's been tamed. It now contorts itself into a tight, pretzel-like shape, often with a triangular head and big, staring eyes. This style was perfect for metalwork, and its repeating motifs were easily stamped onto brooches and harness mounts, spreading across the entire Viking world. Next, developing around 880, came the Jelling style, named after a small silver cup from the royal burial mounds at Jelling in Denmark. This style marked a shift towards elegance and grace. The main motif is no longer a compact beast, but a fluid ribbon-like animal, usually a serpent or dragon. Its body is arranged in a graceful S-shape, or a series of interlocking S-shapes, with a long pigtail flowing from its head. The Jelling style is less aggressive and more flowing than Bore, suggesting the tastes of a more established and secure aristocracy. Things get truly magnificent with the Mammon style, which appeared around 950. Named after a spectacular silver inlaid axe head from Mammon, Denmark, this is the art of royal power. Compositions become asymmetrical and dynamic, and the animals are more substantial and fleshy. But the crucial innovation was the introduction of plant motifs, specifically acanthus-like tendrils borrowed from mainland European art. For the first time, delicate curling shoots weave in and out of the animal designs. The masterpiece of this style is the Great Jelling Stone, raised by King Harald Bluetooth around 965. On one side, it shows a powerful lion-like great beast fighting a serpent, its mane and tail exploding into leafy scrolls. This was the art of a confident kingdom engaging with the wider world. From the Mammon style grew the Ringerike style, popular from around 990 to 1050. Here, the plant tendrils that were introduced in the Mammon style take over completely. The designs are dominated by taut, looping scrolls and stems, creating a sense of restrained energy. The great beast and serpents are still present, but now they are entangled within this dense network of plant life. This style was hugely popular in England during the reign of the Danish king Canute the Great, showing the art of a cosmopolitan North Sea empire that was both international and distinctly Scandinavian. The final brilliant chapter is the Ern style, named after the stunning wooden carvings on a stave church in Ernst, Norway, and lasting from about 1040 until the early 1200s. This is the swan song of Viking art, the most elegant and abstract style of them all. The compositions are open and airy. The main creature is a slender, graceful, greyhound-like animal, its body and limbs stretched into thin, flowing ribbons that interlace with even thinner serpents. The lines swell and narrow with a calligraphic quality, creating a perfect balance of tension and grace. The urn style is the culmination of centuries of development, a final flowering of Norse tradition before it was absorbed by the Romanesque style of Christian Europe. This incredible art found expression in a variety of materials, but if one medium defined the Vikings, it was wood. The Viking longship was their greatest technological achievement, but it was also a floating sculpture. The Oseberg ship's prow and stern curve into magnificent serpent heads. Their surface is a tapestry of Oseberg-style carving. Later warships were mounted with fearsome, gilt dragon heads, designed to terrify enemies and ward off evil spirits. This tradition of masterful wood carving didn't end with the arrival of Christianity. It was repurposed to build the incredible stave churches of Norway. The famous portal of the Erne Stave Church, with its elegant carvings of a lion-like beast-fighting serpents, is the ultimate expression of the Erne style, blending pagan artistic language with a new Christian purpose. If wood was the soul of their world, then metal was the currency of their power. The Viking Age was an age of silver, most of it acquired through trade with the Islamic world. This silver was melted down and transformed into jewelry that was a public declaration of wealth, status, and identity. Women wore pairs of oval brooches to fasten their dresses, often mass-produced in bronze, but sometimes lavishly gilded. The absolute elite wore magnificent gold disc brooches, covered in impossibly fine wirework known as filigree. For men, the most important items were arm rings and neck rings. These were a warrior's bank account, but more importantly, they were symbols of loyalty. A chieftain was known as a ring giver, and to receive a ring from his hand was to swear an oath of fealty. Pendants also carried deep meaning, most famously the Mjolnir, or Thor's hammer, worn as a powerful amulet for protection against the forces of chaos. While wood was perishable and metal could be melted down, stone offered permanence. Across Scandinavia, Vikings raised thousands of runestones. These weren't gravestones, but public memorials, inscribed with runes to commemorate the dead and declare a family's claim to land and legacy. Over time, they became incredible works of art. The runic text was often written on the body of an interlacing serpent or dragon, carved in the latest artistic style, like the magnificent gelling stone of Harald Bluetooth. On the island of Gotland, a unique tradition of picture stones flourished. These were visual encyclopedias of Norse mythology, their surfaces carved with scenes of gods and heroes, Odin riding his eight-legged horse Sleipnir, Thor fishing for the world serpent, and great ships sailing towards the afterlife. These carvings were not just random squiggles and pretty pictures. They were a symbolic language saturated with meaning. The animal motifs were representations of cosmic forces. The ubiquitous serpent could be Jormungandr, the chaotic world serpent, but also a symbol of rebirth. The raven was the bird of Odin, representing thought and memory. The powerful great beast seen in the Mammen and Ringerike styles was a borrowed symbol of royal power, adopted to represent the authority of Viking kings. And some symbols remain mysterious, like the Valknut, three interlocked triangles found in scenes associated with Odin and death, a nod of the slain whose true meaning is still debated by scholars. The art of the Vikings didn't exist in a bubble. As they traveled, their art traveled with them, fusing with local traditions. In England, it blended with Anglo-Saxon art to create unique sculptures like hogback tombstones. In Ireland, it mingled with Celtic art in the bustling trading hub of Dublin. The legacy of this art is immense. It provides us with a direct, contemporary window into Norse mythology, showing us how the Vikings themselves visualized their gods. And its influence never truly died. After being rediscovered in the 19th century, it fueled a Viking revival in Scandinavian architecture and design. You can even draw a line from the Viking craftsman's masterful use of natural materials and blending of beauty with function to the core principles of modern Scandinavian design. The Vikings were more than just raiders. They were master artisans, poets in wood, metal, and stone. Their art reveals a world that was complex, sophisticated, and deeply concerned with beauty, legacy, and its place in the cosmos. It shows us that a culture so often defined by what it destroyed is far better understood by the enduring beauty of what it created. So, what are your thoughts on this? Let us know down in the comments below. If you found this interesting or learned something new, please give this video a like, and don't forget to subscribe to 10-Minute History for more deep dives. Thanks for listening.